Jody, we're going to do 5 questions with MacMan as we always do. And one of the questions, Jody, is did the Phillies get played? Now, the last caller said he did. I want to read you a tweet from Spike over the weekend. Here's what Spike tweeted after the Bette news came out that he was not coming here. His tweet says, Phillies got worked. Same thing as played.
Yeah.
Phillies got worked. Every time I said it was fishy, that every reporter said the Phillies were the favorite before they even talked to the guy, people said I was being too negative. Worked. Now we know they can go spend $30 million a year on a guy. Go do it. All right, do I think they were played? Yes, but that's not really the question I want to give you for 5 questions, Jody. Question number 2 is this. Is this it? Is this the starting 8? Like Bohm's third, Stott's second, and this is it? Like, is this it?
If there's a move left to be made, it's going to be in the outfield. I think this
Bader?
is it for the infield. Bader is still a possibility. It's because right now, the guy who most pressure is on for this upcoming season for the Phillies is Crawford. He better be ready. He better be able to step in and deliver. And, oh, by the way, you're playing him in center field, which I've never seen him play. So maybe he'll be good out there. Maybe he'll be okay. Maybe he'll be a nightmare. I got no idea what Crawford is going to look like in center field. But offensively, he better give him something. They're putting a lot of chips in his stack to be able to deliver offensively for them this year. And I honestly don't know what to expect. I'd love to tell you, he'll be fine. Or, oh, my God, what kind of a shaky limb are they on? I don't know.
Well, I'll say this. When you say pressure, I don't think it's the right word for him. I say they're putting some responsibility on him. But to me, there's far more pressure on guys like Bohm and Stott because, I mean, the fan base, I don't think is going to get on J.P. Crawford too much. He's supposed to not be that great. He's going to hit 9th. I mean, Bohm, like, part of the discontent is, like, here we go again. Bohm's your cleanup hitter or your 2-hole hitter. And so, James, I asked the question to you. Is this it? Is this our starting 8, give or take a platoon outfielder?
Yeah, I think so.
What's your reaction to that?
I think it sucks. Honestly, I think it sucks. Disappointing.
It's a tremendous disappointment.
It's a major disappointment, and I think it's going to create a staleness around the team. Like, yes, if they start 30-10 or something, people will get excited. I think, but I do think that they're going to have this thing hanging over them where it's like no one's going to believe in this team until they actually do it.
So I believe in the Phils a lot more than most because of the starting pitching, and because I'm going to be honest with you. I think I recognize
on Painter, right?
the difficulty of the playoffs more than most. I think a lot of people just think you show up and you win. I don't view it that way. But it can still be, even for an optimistic Phillies fan, a disappointment that the lineup has not been upgraded enough, if at all. I mean, really, what you got is 2 new outfielders, which just feels like 2 out, 2 in.
Yeah.
And maybe in the future, Crawford will develop into someone that's a stud player. But it's hard to believe that he'll, to Jody's point, that he elevates his game so much that he's a different. I don't expect
to see
he's
him
not going to be a
just little
difference
bit
maker
last year, just to see something.
Yeah.
But now it's a complete unknown when he gets up here.
Well, we'll take your reaction to what happened. Let's also listen to Jim Salisbury talking about Bichette, not Dante Bichette, but Bo Bichette to the Mets. Here's something Salisbury said on the Philly show.
It feels like the Lufthansa heist at LaGuardia, in Goodfellas. I mean, the Mets play right next to LaGuardia, and they swooped in and cut the Phillies off at the pass. Because on Thursday night, I sensed legit, real confidence that the Phillies thought they were in a good place and we're going to bring this thing home in the next day or two. And I think the fan base was excited. There's great disappointment there. I can tell you there's great disappointment in the front office. And, this guy would have really, really helped that lineup.
So obviously you don't get the juice, the energy of change. And in this case, a very good player, obviously. I do have to ask one question that I don't know the answer of. Do we know the Phillies reported, offer that was, near the $200 million or $200 million? Do we know if that was going to have the opt-outs after year 1 and 2 and 3 and 4?
I don't think it was.
Right.
No.
I hope not, because
They've not reported that, but if you have to assume something, I think you have to assume that there were no opt-outs until maybe late in the tail end of that 7-year deal.
I would tend to assume that. I mean, I don't know, but I know this. I wouldn't want my team to sign someone to a 7-year deal, 5-year deal, 10-year deal and be like, oh, well, the guy can get out after a year. Because then it's just college sports.
Look at what happened to the Mets.
What the hell's that?
They gave Alonso a multi-year deal with an opt-out after one. See you later, bye.
Yep. Yeah.
And he's a member of the Baltimore Orioles. So
that don't work for me.
Is Bichette going to lead the Mets to the World Series?
No. Yeah, it's like if the player stinks, I'm stuck with him. And if the player is good, he's probably gone. So, like, what's the point?
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's
Well, that's the whole point of a long-term deal is you're obviously paying for the early production to hope that later is better.
Right.
And if the guy could just leave after the early production, what's the point of the discount over the time?
Yeah, that's why I can't get nuts about them losing out on Bichette. They get him next year after he walks away from the Mets after one season.
But, Jody, there is a flip side. You only have Wheeler maybe for 2 more years. You know, you don't know if he's going to return to greatness. Nola is likely to only get worse. You might not have
Bryce Harper's a year older.
Bryce Harper, 2 years from now, Bryce a year older.
Wheeler.
Well, I already said that one. I mean, like, you still have a window here, and your lineup is not as bad as the Eagles.
On the way down.
Not as bad as the Eagles' offense, but it's got some Eagles' offense stink to it. You know what I mean? Like so that is disappointing. Look, I'm not as down on the Phillies as most, but let's be real. Even for an optimistic Phillies fan, it's disappointing to not get some more considerable alteration.
You know what I thought?
It is.
I thought of you when I heard about the Bichette deal because I'm going, well, couldn't they have used that money on Ranger?
Well, no, but
I know they weren't going.
There was no room, as I've said many times, no room in the end. But here's the point: there was apparently money to spend.
Yes.
So who's it go to? It's got to go to somebody.
Harrison.
Well, I mean that's only a small part of it.
That wouldn't be
here's my guess rate. It goes to someone next year, meaning they kick it down the road for a whole year, and that's disappointing.
Yay!
Yeah, that's
team.
disappointing. Yeah,
Ooh,
that's disappointing.
Exciting.
Not good to have the Flyers in free fall while all this other stuff's going on. If you've missed it, the Flyers have lost 6 in a row. So their season is going disastrously in the wrong direction. Matter of fact, listen to what Couturier said. Right to the point. After the last game, Saturday they got blown out. It was a home game. It was a disaster. Listen to what Coot said on Saturday.
Sean, how do you explain today's game?
We suck. Plain and simple.
Wow, that's pretty awesome.
Cut to the point. Nice. Thank you.
There's not much going good these days. The Eagles are out. The Phillies, again, I mean, I'm higher on the Phillies than most, but,
you know what's a shame about the
aggravating
Flyers?
Than the Flyers.
We were, we're starting to get some excitement. I went to a birthday party on Saturday night, and for the first time in years, the first question asked to me had nothing to do with I said, what are these Flyers going to do? And I actually was startled because there was not a single question about the Eagles.
Well, Rhea, here's the other thing that's unbelievable about the Flyers downturn. It coincided directly with the timing of the end of the Eagles season.
It's been dreadful. It's been a bad week.
It's the worst timing possible. They played good hockey for 2 months when not many people are paying attention. People are ready to pay attention. They lose 6 in a row. Go to the phones.
Nothing like rubbing salt in the wounds. The Sixers lost back-to-back games to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, I know Cleveland was number one, the top seed in East last year. They're in the play-in as of now. They might have moved up to 6 with their win against the Sixers in the second of back-to-back. And the Sixers team stinks at home. They're good on the road. They're below 500 at home. So you Eagles lose. Flyers can't get out of their own way.
Yeah.
Sixers get swept at home by a team that are ahead of in the standings. And apparently the Phillies got played because everybody said so. Hey, great 8 days here in Philadelphia sports.
My general Sixers regular season opinion, until we see in the playoffs, but it's hard to believe in them. I'm glad they're better than I expected. I'm glad that Embiid's playing more than I expected, but it's just hard to believe in them.